from Delhi's point of view, you have the Saudi-Pakistan Mutual Defense Pact. You're also saying that it's Saudi Arabia telling America that we have friends in the region and we can cozy up to China too, with this defense pact. From India's point of view, will this mean that now possibly our ties with Israel will get closer and more deeper, especially the defense aspect of it?
That is certainly one direction that the Indian government may go and may feel inclined to go. I do not know enough about India's calculations and its foreign policy to be able to give you an informed answer. What I can tell you, however, is that strategically, in my view, despite the fact that, of course, the Israelis have very, very strong military technology that Israel has become quite dependent on, but to really cozy up closer to a country that very likely at this point is going to be found guilty of genocide and who is moving in a direction of more or less permanent pariahhood, does not seem to me be a very clever gamble for India. India is still a country that is very important in the global South context. It's at this point, obviously, a major power, but its global South roots are not inconsequential. And I think a movement in this direction under these circumstances will be very, very costly for India and probably not worth whatever gains may be coming from Israel's military assistance.
Dr. Parsi, in 2023, the IMEC corridor, India, Middle East, European Economic Corridor, was announced together at the G20 here in Delhi. Do you, with the radical shifting of geopolitics in the region, do you think that this corridor is now pretty much dead?
I didn't think it was alive to begin with. I didn't find it to be particularly credible. But at this point, the geopolitical situation in the region has changed so dramatically. A lot of these things are going to have to be reassessed. They relied on a modicum of continuity of the previous lack of order. I don't want to call it order, but whatever the configuration was, a certain degree of stability and continuity of that has been completely upended. I mean, we just talked about it, but perhaps I should emphasize it again. It may be difficult to fully grasp what it means if the GCC states have now reached the conclusion that their main threat is not Iran, it's Israel. I mean, this takes 3-4 decades of security thinking in the region and completely flips it. To think that some of these other economic arrangements will be able to survive this unscathed, I find very unlikely.
What should we look out for this week as it's going on? President Trump just ended his speech. He is very critical of European nations. What are you looking for in this week?
Well, I'm really looking to see, first of all, what happens more on the Israel-Palestine front. I mean, it's been quite fascinating so far. The genocide word, which was not used, to the best of my knowledge, in more than perhaps a handful, if even that, last year, is now being used left and right by plenty of leaders, including European leaders, the Slovenian president, for instance. And again, also the comparison to the Holocaust, which politically was next to impossible, too sensitive, is being repeated by a large number of these states. But the question is, of course, is it just symbolic? Is it just speeches at this point, or will something more concrete come out of this? I think the French and the Saudis, or the French in particular, who pushed very much for this recognition, may have managed to get more than what they originally anticipated, which then adds pressure to them that there has to be a follow-up on this that brings about concrete changes so that this whole exercise and all of the political capital that was invested in the recognition does not end up becoming something that is just symbolic at a time when a genocide is happening.